Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for mid-August 2022. We're just going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. But, Taurus, let's see here. This whole deck is upside down as usual. I don't know why I keep doing this, but I don't know. I think after COVID, it did something to my brain, and I'm just, I just can't figure out how to get cards to be upright. But anyway, I feel here that you could be kind of like extra sensitive to something going on here, Taurus. And I would definitely pay attention to your kind of like sensitivities, I would say, or things that you are sensitive to. I am not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but what I would say is if you're like sensitive to a food or, something, I don't know, like I'm super sensitive, everything, if I sneeze the wrong direction and like inhale a grain of pollen from another direction, it like sends me into an allergic reaction, so I totally get it. And what I would say here is that for whatever reason, it's popping into my head that you should be very careful of like sensitivities, especially regarding like food and things like that. Other than that, the thing is that I also feel there is a lot of benefits to you being kind of like having this certain sense of like heightened awareness is what I really get from this reading. I'm not really sure where I'm getting this from in this reading. I don't really necessarily see anything. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this last card here, this gazelle spirit or whatever, kind of represents heightened awareness or, capturing, kind of seeing things maybe a little bit better than you normally do. But again, I kind of see it as like a superpower, but it's kind of like also like, one of those things, Superman has kryptonite, right? So, I feel like you're getting a superpower this month, but there's also the need to kind of care for it, if that makes sense, or to avoid your kryptonite, which could be anything. For some reason, I feel like it's some sort of sensitivity. In your first row here, you have this secret spring card. It says success on it. So I do feel that there could be success, obviously, coming in for you this month. I feel for a lot of you that, again, the success is kind of, there's like a need for you to pay attention to opportunities. This comes up for pretty much everyone right now. But again, as I've said to you a million times, I feel like it's super, super critical that you, in particular, pay very close attention to the opportunities that could be coming in for you. I just feel like there could be certain things that present themselves to you, and I feel like your heightened awareness and your sensitivity, like, kind of like the superpower version of that, is what is kind of tuning you in to these opportunities. But again, I do feel there's a need to kind of like grab onto them, as always. You have the Eight of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Three of Swords here. Very weird that pretty much, I don't know, I feel like everybody has had this or something very similar to this. So, of course, you could be going through a breakup or a separation. Three of Swords is my card of health. And again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. I would just pay attention to your health. And again, I do feel it's regarding a sensitivity. So I would just pay attention to any sensitivities that you have. And it doesn't even have to be an allergy or anything like that. It could be anything. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a doctor. So there's your disclaimer, YouTube police, but there you go, Taurus. I would just pay attention with this Three of Swords. It is coming up in your past position, and just going this way right here, this type of combination, Three of Swords, Nine of Wands, Two of Wands, this always reminds me of very simple energy. If you are looking for love this month or anywhere in the future, the Nine of Wands, like being the wounded warrior. The Two of Wands is like feeling like everything is always the same as far as, in this case, love is concerned. So Two of Wands is about needing to believe that things can be different in love, needing to believe. So again, this is just for those of you that want it. The Two of Wands is about needing to realize there's a whole wide world of people out there. And, maybe you've had a bunch of negative experiences, what this is telling me. And you could be feeling a little bit sour as far as love is concerned. The Two of Wands says not everybody is like that. Number one. We're not all the same, right? We are all different. And so I feel the Two of Wands is about getting out into the world and exploring what the world has to offer. So if you want love, it kind of just says broaden your horizons, basically. But again, in this first row, you have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. Again, everybody has been getting the Eight of Swords, which what is crazier to me is that almost every single reading is this right here. Eight of Swords, Nine of Wands, to the Wheel of Fortune. Literally saying exactly what I said in those August bonus readings, which is, for those of you that experiment, Nine of Wands is my card of experimentation. It's my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. For those of you that do that, I feel like you will have a turnaround with the Wheel of Fortune. The Nine of Wands is a card, everybody knows it as a card of like the Wounded Warrior, not giving up, perseverance, things like that. But to me, it's like a card of just like trying so many times that you win. And that's what I would be doing there with that card. You do have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups, as always, is like my card of you and your higher self. And I do feel you could be very tapped in at this time. I feel like your higher self wants that first card for you. I feel like your higher self is kind of leading you towards more success, abundance, all these things. And I feel like it's encouraging you to do something maybe different. You can see these two people are meant to look very different on the Two of Cups. I kind of feel like your higher self is encouraging you over here. I feel like it's saying there's something different that you could be doing in work, business, or love, anything that you're doing. But this kind of looks like the journey to finding what is different. Right, is what I would say to you. Next, you have this full moon in Leo. It says, don't let pride get in the way. So I feel like this is more saying, again, I wouldn't really call it pride for you, Taurus. And, I would say it's more just feeling like you know how things are going to go. I kind of feel this energy for all earth signs. Of like needing to allow yourself to be pleasantly surprised, right? Needing to just approach every situation saying like, how can this situation surprise me? Instead of like, I know exactly how this situation is going to end, right? And this goes not only for love, but everything for you for the rest of the month. It's like maybe maybe your business always goes a certain direction. I feel like this is saying, like, try to get that thought out of your head and say, like, what would this look like if it surprised me, if it went in a really good direction, or if it did something different, right? And part of me kind of feels that. I feel it's that simple, that just being open to things going differently is all you need to do here. In this row, you have the King of Pentacles, you showing up in a very strong position, the Nine of Wands, and the Hermit as well. The Nine of Wands is a card of kind of trying things, again, card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. The King of Pentacles, again, I should have touched this one first because honestly, I feel like this is just you. King of Pentacles is you. I feel like you're showing up in a strong position of power and strength. I feel like this is saying try as many different things as you possibly can because you will be very successful if you do that with this Nine of Wands energy. The Hermit is an energy of kind of having climbed to the top of a mountain. It is a card of having done some soul searching, doing some introspection, and gaining some wisdom or knowledge, really. He's gained some inner answers, but he kind of needs to put these answers into action. It's really funny. I saved a quote today. I don't know if this is an accurate quote, by the way, here, Taurus, but let me just find the quote for you. It was shared by this Warren Buffett page, but again, I don't really think this is a Warren Buffett quote, just so you know, but I saved it because it was just such an interesting quote. It says, more information equals seeing things better. More action says see better things. And to me, that is kind of like knowledge and wisdom. It's like you can learn things all day long and you can see things better by learning, right? But by taking action, you can actually see more opportunities, right? And I kind of feel that with this Hermit. I mean, to me, that's what the Hermit represents anyway. It's like, okay, you've learned a lot. Now it's like time to put it into action so that you can be successful. So I do get a need for action in this row here with the Hermit card for sure. And the Nine of Wands, again, is like a card of taking action. Next, you have the Buy the Book card, and you also have this Gazelle card. If there ever was a Buy the Book card in the tarot, it would be the King of Pentacles, which you're showing up as here. The Buy the Book card is a card of like doing things by the book, obviously. And that Gazelle, again, I feel is talking about kind of like opportunities that you could be paying attention, that you could be kind of aware of, that are coming into your awareness. Again, I get this like heightened awareness on the Gazelle. If you've ever seen a gazelle like in nature, right, they're very aware of predators and things, but they're also aware of like opportunities. So I feel you need to pay attention to kind of like both things. But again, in this case, nope, I don't really feel predators. I feel more, being careful of your sensitivities, like I said. I also feel that there could be a lot of opportunities that come your way. For some of you, I feel that by the book card is saying that there's an opportunity that you've already experienced in the past. And I feel like it's saying like there could be another opportunity coming in where things are going to go in a very similar way. I feel like this could be a good thing though. I'm not talking about like a love returning here. I'm talking about like maybe you had a business success in the past. And, I think of certain things that have happened to me in the past where it's like I kind of notice a pattern where it's like at the same time of year maybe I make more money, right? Or whatever. It's like I always try to pay attention to those things and take advantage of those opportunities. And that's what I feel like this is saying. It's like if you notice that at this time of year, every single year, your money goes up, take advantage of that. If maybe, but for I don't even know why I'm saying that, because if I'm being honest with you, I feel this is something different where it's like maybe you had a business success in the past and maybe you're getting like similar feelings. Maybe it's more of a feeling. Maybe it's much more subtle than kind of noticing something, bit like physical, if that makes sense. The reason I say this is because of that Two Wands. And the Two Wands really tells me you need to believe that things can go differently this time. Like, let's say you published a book in the past and it flopped, right? You could be publishing a book again. And I feel like this Tower that we have here is kind of like, a little bit of nerves, a little bit of worrying about a Tower moment. Everybody's been getting the Tower, so I wouldn't really worry about it. I feel like it's just a sign of the times that we're in, Taurus. But I also kind of feel it's like saying, things can be different, especially with this Two Wands. You have the Two Wands Tower, Wheel of Fortune. Two Wands, he's standing at the top of a castle, and he's looking out into the world. The story of the Two Wands is that he feels like he knows exactly how everything is going to go in his life, but he really doesn't. He really doesn't know that things can be different. He's got the whole world in his hands. So I feel like you have the whole world in your hands with this card, and you need to realize that things can be different. Another card that is suggesting that things can be different is the Tower. Again, I don't consider the Tower to be a bad card. To me, it's not really a good card either, but to me, the Tower is just part of the fool's journey. It's something we all have to experience, and we all will continue to experience multiple times in our lives, but it's a good thing. Without the Tower, our lives would always be the same and would be extremely boring. So the Tower reminds us of when we are kind of like ignoring certain things in reality, and it brings us back down to earth so we can be kind of like grounded in reality. And that's kind of like what I feel here. And finally, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel that your fortunes are changing if you experiment, like I said, with that Nine of Swords. The Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like the way to kind of like set yourself free here is with this diagonal right here for sure. So that's the direction I would go in. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Hangman. Hangman is not being sure what to do, and I feel for some of you who actually do know what to do. The Hangman, the Hangman is always tricky to me when I get it with the Eight of Swords. I'll tell you why. Because the Hangman in reverse, it kind of looks like he's dancing, right? When he's in reverse. And it can represent just putting on a show. It can kind of represent just doing anything, hoping that something works. And maybe he hasn't thought things through when he's in reverse. Sometimes it can be actually good in reverse because he's actually moving in reverse. He's actually dancing, so he's making movement. So he's kind of like getting off the pole, so to speak. But in the upright, where he's actually hanging upside down, it kind of represents needing to see a new perspective. And the Eight of Swords can be like a stuck perspective. So what I would say is, sometimes I feel it's actually very simple too with the Hangman. Sometimes I feel like just trying the opposite of what you've been doing is the answer with the Hangman. And I don't know, that's what I get. With the Two of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you. I do feel new love for you for the most part. So I do feel for the most part there could be a new person coming in for you if you want love. Obviously, if you're in a relationship, things could be going very well for you with the Ten of Cups. But and the Ten of Cups is an amazing card for those of you that are dating as well. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Pentacles. Again, I would take care of yourself. Six of Pentacles, you can see that he's giving to one thing but not the other. So I would make sure, number one, to nurture yourself. I would also say health-wise, again, not a doctor, but is there something that you are neglecting? Is there, are you not giving yourself enough alone time? Are you not giving yourself enough healing time, meditation time, or, whatever? Could be anything. So with the Six of Pentacles, I always say, make sure something isn't missing in your life. Make sure, that you're not, leaving behind your health or something like that. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Yeah, Temperance is turning, could be you turning a positive into a negative, negative into a positive. But I do feel like you are transforming something with this Temperance energy. I feel like you have a lot of like value inside you, is what I feel, obviously, with that King of Pentacles. But it's like it needs to come out in a certain way. And I feel like that Temperance card could be you kind of taking knowledge, wisdom, things that you've learned, and you could be almost presenting it to the world. So some of you could be launching businesses, YouTube channels, sharing things. I would definitely do that. Here you go. 9 of Wands. The card of knowledge and wisdom is clarifying it. The King of Swords. King of Swords, like knowledge and wisdom. He has both. To me, he is like the most experienced king in the tarot. To me, he has like the most knowledge and wisdom. So I would be putting that stuff into practice. Also really good if you're dealing with like a legal matter or something like that. With the Hermit, you have the Death card. Definitely a transformation coming in for you. Definitely a change. Again, it seems to me that all these readings, even though they've had like the Tower and stuff in them, there's this element of positivity. But again, to me, that kind of fits in well with that triple conjunction that we had in Taurus, last week or whenever that was. At the beginning of the month, basically. And, I feel that there could be these moments that seem kind of scary on the surface, but actually, like, what's on the other side is much better than what we realize. With the Two of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles, definitely time for you to take action, like I said. Again, if you're hesitating doing something, if you're hesitating putting energy into something because of past experiences, this reading is telling me that you're going to have success. It's like, what are you waiting for? He has these oak leaves on his helmet, represent knowledge and wisdom. And he just needs to plant seeds in these fields right here. So I feel like it's time to get moving. With the Tower, you have the Ace of Wands, inspiration. A Tower moment could be the thing that causes inspiration in your life. It could be the thing that inspires you to take action. It could be the thing that kind of inspires you to do things. How many times have you heard stories of people who, they like their business fails, they end up living in their car, and then they become billionaires because it's like they were uncomfortable. This is why, I'm one of those people, I will never say that we should be totally comfortable, right? I feel like there is a benefit sometimes to being uncomfortable, especially if it can motivate you to success. I'm not saying you're going to be living in your car, but, Tower moments, things that you see happening in the world could just be the thing that lead to, a positive change. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ace of Cups, 2 aces. I love 2 aces. 2 aces to me is a definite yes to any question I haven't answered. But you also have the Ace of Cups, so your emotions overflowing, being very happy. A lot of happiness as your outcome here, Taurus. So this looks really good. Love it. Thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.